Good evening and welcome back to Valkyrie Flight. I'm your host, Dungeon Master, and purveyor of mystery, Bazag. Um, Also, I like to tease my players, bohaha. But what DM doesn't like to do that. Um, so anyway, let's get straight in with the teasing as we recap what happened. Well, last time on Valkyrie Flight.
You really want to call yourself a dungeon master with this group?
Well, no comment. But
We got plenty.
yes, and I will meet you all if I have to. So be warned.
I'm done.
Because I have the power of recording. So wahaha. But yeah, let's go back into what happened last week. Last week the captain was rather busy, just organising paperwork, talking with admirals, talking with Starfleet Intelligence, making arrangements for Starfleet Intelligence to debrief and assess the former commander's claim for asylum, as well as, obviously his family that is now aboard. That family sort of made a bit of a nuisance of themselves with the youngest Minel traveling the ship, poking her nose in, but she didn't never strayed into areas that she wasn't allowed to, and had a bit of interaction with Lazan. We had the Department of Temporal Investigations sent a message that they were looking into Keegan and Section 31 in terms of, being temporarily active, possibly, or at least trying to be. We have the out of character reveal. None of the players know this yet, but Charo Lustos, the communication slash operations manager for the Valkyrie, is also a Section 31 agent, biding his time, a bit of the weed. So, on the ship, he's going to get a lot of information. So let's see how that goes. And
Beta's right on the street, Section 31 in the sheets.
something
Oh,
like that, which let's just move on from that. Let's pretend that was never said.
I thought it was.
And I'm just trying to remember if there was something else, which I don't believe there was. But we start our episode this morning with the captain returning back to the ship. How would you flying in with a small shuttle with
Well, it might be worth asking where was the Valkyrie during all this?
During the discussion, I think you would want to be there could be two locations. You could either stay at where the base was in that system, or you could be partially return back to Seoul, or you could be at Seoul. I'll leave that up to you guys.
I would think returning to Earth probably would have been the best idea.
Mm-hmm.
What about you guys?
Yeah, I had the impression we were at ESD for a good chunk, if not all, of the last episode.
Either that or just...
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I figured we were on our way.
Yeah, I figured we were there or we were at Earth or something. At least in Soul orbit.
Yeah, I don't think we were docked. I think we were probably orbited.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you were in Soul orbit. You're not docked to ESD, but you're
yeah, they don't need to be.
Yeah, you're just in orbit around Earth.
But I probably would have beamed back.
Giving the captain time to, make all the...
Assert his point of view with the Admiralty and Starfleet Intelligence.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, you beam aboard We have 3 Starfleet Intelligence officers. There is Agent Sish, Tellarite male, short. He he barely comes up to half your height. Agent Saara, Cation, female, and a Saurian, actually taller than Ted, who is acting there as a logistical assistant. She sort of seems subordinate to the other two in Inoku.
Okay, so we have 2 Tellarites and a Saurian?
A Cation, a Tellarite, and a Saurian.
Okay, thank you.
Walks into a bar.
The third one ducks.
Yeah.
All right, I'm assuming Rogeson's here to meet me at the transporter pad 1.
Yep. So you beam in. Rogeson's there. The transporter room is there. She presents you with a pad, just keeping you up to date on the things that have happened about Minel and the communication from DTI. They're the 2 main things. A lot of other minor ship details. Which I forgot to report. Ensign Lyons had been treated and is still on medical leave despite being physical health while dealing with his injuries. So he's on medical leave at the moment. But apart from that, the ship's in good sake. So first questions first is: do you want him to be do you want him still on the ship, or should he take medical an extended break off the ship on Earth?
I'm gonna defer to the doctor on that one. Because I feel like either her or Laridin will probably have the best perspective on this.
All right. So for now, you tell Aris, check in with the doctors and see what they think about that.
Yeah. Commander Rogeson, shadowy Black Ops government agents. Shadowy Black Ops government agents. Commander Rogeson.
You can tell the
Don't bother learning their names; they're just fake ones anyway.
The vacation, the Tellarite laughs, sort of hearty laugh, and extends his hand. Agent Sish of Starfleet Intelligence. This is my colleague, Agent Saara, directing to, and this is our assistant, Inoku.
Yep. You can probably guess why we're here. You might want to get Commander Safan. In fact, it's a good idea. Get Commander Safan.
No, should we get Pelus, or will that be moments after? Okay.
We're gonna meet Pelus.
All right. So for now, she walks out. You give the Starfleet Intelligence a nod. You see a slight curled edge of a smile as she leaves. It's a slight shake of the head, but she goes down to meet. She leaves the conference room, leaves the transporter area, and comes in Safan.
She does that. Okay. Oh, Rogeson does.
Rogeson does, yes.
Yeah.
Brains catching up. Bear with me.
No worries.
Safan here. Go ahead.
We have some Starfleet Intelligence agents that arrive with the captain, who are looking to talk with Commander Pelus. The captain has requested your presence.
Very well. I'm on my way.
And we're gonna go meet him at Pelus's stateroom.
Okay.
Or VIP room, whatever it's called. Suite.
Quarters.
Yeah.
I still
We gave him
don't
one of the
have
family suites.
I still don't have a room, so we're gonna just leave it in the ready room for now. On the screen, as
Yeah, should be fine.
as everyone meets up at the door. Is there anything you want to alert Pelus? Pelus would have, Iris would have alerted Paris, and the family is expecting your. I mean, the door's still closed because you haven't arrived yet, but they're all.
I would have asked Iris and Safan if they learned anything new since I've been gone.
Saying no?
Yeah, and Iris looks towards the fan and just sort of shakes her head. Nothing
We
further.
learned that the youngest daughter is curious and somewhat personable, albeit shy.
Well, personable's good. It's a good sign.
It is. This is a new environment for a lot of them, so.
Oh yeah, no, you betcha. Living with what was probably literally referred to as the enemy for most of their life.
Yeah, but at least there's been no incident, so that's a benefit.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm gonna go ahead and ring the door chime.
The door chimes and you hear Pels say, "Come in."
After you.
Okay.
Who?
Yeah, so the door opens and you all manage to enter in whatever order you so choose. I'm
Three
gonna say
Stooges style.
three. I'm going to say that the agents go somewhere in the middle, not the last, but somewhere in the middle.
I would say we're intentionally kind of putting ourselves between, the agents and the Romulan family as a buffer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very well. Sorry, pardon me. I had a bit of cough that I had to get out there for a moment. So Commander Pelus stands up while his wife is still remaining. Sits down, sitting down along with the kids. They've replicated some pads and they're doing some kind of drawing, some artwork. You're not getting a real good look at what they're doing, but it seems to be some kind of artistic endeavor.
Has anyone introduced the teenage son to the mech RPG or MMO? I need to know.
No.
That would be Mzaka if anyone would.
I'll make it a point to do so soon.
But
yeah, no, carry on.
like he's sort of like at least sort of half interested, and like he's not particularly engaged in whatever's being doing. It's like busy work, and he's just sort of
Homeschooling.
doing it because he's sort of like got nothing else better to do. But yeah. So once everyone else, so the kids continue doing what they're doing. Pelus stands up and extends his hand. Actually, he doesn't extend his hand for now. But Captain, welcome back, Safan. These must be my debriefers.
Correct.
Yep. These three are with Starfleet Intelligence, and we're here to politely and calmly ask you some questions. that you need not answer if you do not wish to do so. And I'm sort of glaring at the agents while I say that.
Well,
Captain, I'm sure these intelligence agents are professionals and are well aware of that the Federation Charter's protections against self-incrimination and illegal search and seizure apply equally to asylum seekers as they do to Federation citizens.
Yes, I would imagine they'd be very up to date on that policy.
Captain, we are here to do a job, and we understand
what
your
worries me.
concerns, and you are obviously his advocate, and if there is any sign of us breaking such things that you have mentioned, then I'm sure you're well capable of intervening on his behalf, which of course I can assure you, this is a Tellarite speaking, that such actions will not be required. But we appreciate your position.
Indeed. All right, and I turn over to Pelus. All right, well, if you would like, we can ask these questions here in your suite. But if not, if you'd like either some more privacy or a different location, you may be feel free to choose someone amongst the open civilian areas aboard the Valkyrie.
The Cation pipes up. We would prefer to do this in a formal situation, perhaps a conference room. But of course, this is your ship, Captain.
I make no comment.
Pelus states, I'm no stranger to formal situations, Captain. If you have no purpose for the conference room, then I'm sure that will be fine. As long as, of course, that you and other representatives from the Valkyrie are present.
Very well. Then we'll head over to the bridge.
Vera, I'm going to make these guys do a roll for random reasons.
Oh no.
Sure. Totally random.
We trust this.
Okay.
Oh boy.
You don't see them react as they acknowledge and respond. Thank you, Commander. Captain, if you would lead the way.
Follow me. Safan, you'll bring up the rear.
So this is just
I nod.
This is just Pelus and you and the agents, right?
Oh, does Safan not have clearance?
I mean,
Yes.
no, sorry, Safan does, but it's just the rest of the family stays.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I assume so.
Yeah, okay.
If they're going to interrogate kids, I would have kicked them off my ship myself.
Okay.
Through an airlock, right?
Yeah. You can float down to Earth.
They'd get there eventually.
Yeah,
So,
eventually.
So as you lead, Aris is already back on the ship.
On the bridge?
On the bridge, I mean, she's always on the ship. Back on the bridge.
Technically correct.
Technically correct, but incomplete statement. As she keeps an eye as you go, Captain. If there's anything that you need, please. I'm always available.
Absolutely.
She also gives a quick nod to Pelus as he walks by and walk into the conference room.
And I lead everyone to the conference room. Actually, if we could have some water brought up, that'd be great. And I just said it to like a random ensign on the bridge.
All right, so the ensign enters the conference room with you and orders the replicator in there to replicate a tray of glasses. There's 6 glasses with full of water, as well as a large pitcher with a bit of ice in it.
Perfect. Thank you. And I'll take the head chair.
So you are definitely taking the lead.
Yeah, I'm taking the Picard chair because it's
Okay.
still my ship. And I need to assert that with these agents.
Are we ready to undergo with our discussions, Captain?
Provided everything on the up and up, and Pelus is willing to continue this, then yes.
Yep. So Pelus, as he sits down, he sort of straightens himself up, sort of like interlocks his fingers and just sort of sits down. You can tell
Is he still in his Romulan uniform?
No, he's in Romulan civilian clothing, but not in military uniform.
Okay. I didn't think he would be. I was just curious.
No. But so he
Still got the shoulders though.
Yeah. Murphy Brown shoulder pads.
We found out that those aren't shoulder pads; those are actually Romulan shoulders.
Yeah,
My God.
the sword, the shoulder blades extend. Yeah. But no, he's sitting down, preparing himself for whatever happens. The Saurian pulls out a pad, and hands it over to the Tellarite, who then passes it over to Pelus. Commander, if you would just look over that and provide us with any further information that you may deem necessary. He like sort of looks quizzically as he picks up the pad and goes through it. There is a lot of information regarding my previous activities as belonging to the Tal Shiar. I do not know what you're asking for. Well, we are wanting to know, essentially, if that is a complete record of your activities regarding, well, not only the Valkyrie, but the Shackleton Expanse, and particularly anything that would be relevant to Federation interests there.
How is this relevant to Commander Pelos's request for asylum?
It is relevant to see how forthcoming he is with relevant details, whether or not he clarifies certain situations, or if things are left out that should be known.
I didn't realize that Pelus's request for assignment was contingent on whether he was useful in providing information on foreign nations.
It is a matter of trust, Captain. If we are to accept him as an asylum, we have to trust him. And if he can...
Sorry, go ahead.
And if he can prove this trust, then the likelihood of his acceptance will be much greater.
Captain, forgive me if I am speaking out of turn, but Starfleet Intelligence is not an approval agency for Federation citizen asylum requests.
No, but currently they do have. No, but currently they do have a bit of an ear with the council.
The commander is right. We do not make that decision, but we will provide a report. And if we unfortunately find that the captain is seeking asylum for...
Me, the commander?
if the commander is seeking asylum for less than legitimate purposes, then the Federation Council will need to know.
Then should not your assessment focus on whether Pelus would continue to be a threat to the Federation as a Federation citizen?
You're trying to see if he's a plant. A double agent.
We have asked a simple question. If you feel that question is not inappropriate, then
Oh, let's
Feel-
just get the bullshit out of the room, please. It's gonna stink up the place.
very well. Then shall we move on? Shall we ask a different question then, since you were unwilling to let us ask this question?
Sure. Let's see if the second verse is the same as the first. He's gonna grab a drink and start drinking.
Very well, Captain. Can we, Commander? It's like you see, sort of the occasions are just sort of coughs under her under her breath at the Tellarite. Can you please then just give us a brief rundown of why you have chosen to seek asylum? What circumstances have changed for you? Pelus looks towards either of you, assuming that you're not raising any objections to this. He sort of lays down pretty much exactly what you have been told before, that his family had a long career in the Tal Shiar, and during the recent events at New saw that that the continued position was untenable, that due to his failure, that and the Federation's diplomatic involvement in that his life, his family were in danger, and that he needed to get out and seek a new life. Unfortunately, that led to the discovery of him by the USS Valkyrie, and he expresses that he has no interest in pursuing anything but a life with his family and you. So they will just do a insight roll on that. See how.
I'd also like to make an insight roll on that.
I'd like to assist the captain on his insight roll if that's doable.
Give me an insight security supply, insight command for the captain.
Okay. Let's see. Do I have anything?
Observation focus.
I will allow that.
Okay.
I don't have any benefits. We don't have any momentum, so I'm just going to go with it.
Oh, you do have one momentum.
Oh, well, anyone mind if I use it?
Yeah. Gotta use it to get it.
This is a difficulty
All
2
right.
check, by the way, for you guys.
Let's do this.
Take it.
Oh, it's a command. So yeah, now I have cautious. Perfect. That's why I have it. Oof.
Yeah, no,
One
missed
second.
it by
Let me
one.
reroll one. I have cautious. Let me reroll that one. Damn it. My insight is crap.
So you don't. You're still like a bit unsure about the commander, but the Starfleet Intelligence just seem to they don't give a lot away, but they just sort of nod as they've picked up something, but they don't really want to express any more information than that. So they continue to ask, where should asylum be granted? Where would you see yourself being residented within the Federation? So Commander Pelus, there are a lot of Federation worlds. Vulcan would definitely be interesting, but I fear that would be too attention getting for the Tal Shiar. They would see me and they would react unwelcomely to my presence. Somewhere that's out of the way, yet not your typical backwater, like, say, Bajor or something.
Well, Vader's not exactly a member of the Federation.
Well, that's kind of situational colony. Somewhere that is developed, but out of the way.
Would I know of any such places? Oh no, I have astrophysics. If I had astronavigation, I'd probably know something.
Perhaps Takut, Vulcan's twin planet. It is still close to Vulcan and the core systems, but does not receive nearly as much traffic.
You can see that Pelus considers it. Of course, I will have to perform more research before I can give any detailed confirmed response, but initially that sounds suitable. And this time it's the Cation that speaks up. Commander, you have been, shall I say, opponents of the Valkyrie a number of different times. Can you just confirm to us what your purposes was in doing the actions that you performed? And he sort of reiterates another thing that he said previously, in that he was trying to minimize, at the same time, minimize Federation involvement within the Shackleton Expanse while boosting Romulan advancement. And he decides to share, in addition to that there was initial discussions being made about modify covert operations to shift the Soul's culture to be more in line with the Romulan culture for future annexation. But considering the stellar situation and their presumed lifespan, that such a plan was discarded in the early stages of consideration.
Was a similar cultural control policy put in place for the planet of the Power Mages?
Okay. There was.
I guess cultural manipulation would be a more accurate term.
Yeah, there was a bit of that, but the power mages were already, shall we say, a bit up themselves. I believe is the human term, and there wasn't much manipulation required in terms of to gain their assistance. Promises of additional power and the knowledge of how to use whatever they already had to in advanced methods were well enough to control, to influence their behavior.
Ted nods.
As far as anything else, I do not believe that there is anything else that I can think of that would clarify the situation further. If you have specific questions about anything on this list, then obviously then I would be happy to answer them. But well,
I do have a question myself, actually.
oh yes,
You mentioned wanting to put yourself somewhere kind of a developed backwater, so to speak. Do you have any worries that the Tal Shiar or any other kind of covert shadowy intelligence organization may attempt to reach out to you and press king you back into service after ingratiating yourself as a refugee citizen within the Federation?
that is yes a concern, which is why I want to be out of the way. If the Tal Shiar knew where I was, if the Tal Shiar thought I was a risk, or if they thought that they could get some kind of benefit, then they would very much likely use whatever means they had to get at me, possibly through my family.
Hmm.
But I do not see how living at a place such as Earth or Vulcan would protect me from that. It would simply cause them to be more easily, for me to be easily more monitored if I were to go to a more obvious location.
The events during Admiral Layton's attempted coup might serve to reinforce the commander's point.
Hmm. Well, if you absolutely want to get somewhere that's kind of a backwater but still has a bit of the shadow flag, it's about a hotbed at the moment, but possibly Deep Space Nine. Can't get much further out than that these days. No, with the Dominion situation, maybe it's not exactly the safest place.
As
Captain, what
Romulans,
about...
we are used to less than safe situations. Of course, I will consider any suggestions provided.
Captain, would the Delphinian homeworld provide a sufficient location?
He chokes on his drink a little bit. Oh, Delphi? Oh man. Oh, geez. I don't know how much immigration to Delphi there is. I mean, they're certainly accepting of it. They kind of have to be. Maybe one of the other planets in that system, perhaps? There's a couple colonies. I mean, if you like being around, semi-aquatic, salamanders. I mean, they're developed, but I mean, the most they have is their artistic culture and the Ted kind of freezes a little bit. And he remembers that a lot of Delphi's exports are special minerals that are used in upgrading computers, such as stuff that was used in the organic gel packs. It's not, as much as my better judgment says, it's not a terrible idea. It'd certainly be a cultural shock. You'd have to learn how to swim.
At least the cultural differences would be more out in the open. Additionally, Vulcan or Takut would subject the commander to a considerable level of paranoia and xenophobia from, dare I say, my fellow Vulcans.
I think I may even know who to ask. God damn it. The Delphi system is not a bad place, admittedly. There's Delphi itself, there's a couple colonies. I think there's developing a space station. It's out of the way. It's in the Alpha Quadrant, but it's still Federation territory.
And further away from Romulan space.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Delphi is a new system, so it's not like they, they're not exactly the heart of the Federation. Honestly, they might even dig it because it gives them some political clout. Anyway, it's obviously you're going to be your choice, Commander.
This will not. Obviously, I'll have to discuss this with my wife and family, but
this is not an immediate decision, obviously.
Obviously, but thank you for your suggestions. We will consider them. So the occasion goes well. Considering of the future, we are talking about the future. What, Commander? What can you provide us on intelligence from Romulus, from the Star Empire?
Stefan just raises an eyebrow.
Pelus sort of does too, as he is sort of tries to. What sort of information would you want? I have access to a lot of information. Some of that, admittedly, a fair amount of it now, since my situation would now be out of date. But I will provide, of course, what information I can.
I suspect most of what you could provide, Commander, would already be known to Starfleet Intelligence. And what they do not know would be obsolete.
Or set up to be a trap. Not intentional on Pelus's part, but you tell me Talashiar doesn't realize what he knows, and then realize that if he tells him, he'll be able to use that as, bait.
Indeed.
Well, considering the Federation's desire to deal with the Dominion currently, let me think.
I guess getting an idea of what the
Talashiar data on the Dominion would be of value to Starfleet Intelligence.
That's not a bad idea, yeah. Or possibly
I say, staring at the Starfleet Intelligence agents sitting across from us.
At least the political situation between the Roman Star Empire and the Dominion would be interesting to know if they're conversing at all.
I am aware of diplomatic overtures, the details of which I'm not fully aware of, but there are discussions of a non-aggression pact, I believe the term is.
Oh, lovely.
I also seem to remember some discussion, some notes from Senator Renack, who seems to be the Romulans' chief Dominion supporter. If how mentioning that the use of the Dominion could be quite effective in dealing with ancient enemies such as, well, the Federation, among others. I can provide you with as much information as I remembered. I had some documents, but pads, but unfortunately they were destroyed along with my personal possessions when we had to leave the facility. I was found out in haste.
Well, I assume you have a well-trained memory.
That I do. I will. If I could have a pad, I will start recording things down immediately.
I nod to Safon.
Before you do any such thing, Commander, I kind of eye the intelligence agents again. Do we have Starfleet Intelligence's assurances that none of the information Commander Pelus provides will be used in any form to incriminate him or otherwise attempt to impede his request for asylum?
And might actually this offer of information be seen as a sign of good faith?
You are indeed correct that this offer of information is a sign of good faith. We are well aware of many of the commander's actions onto the Tal Shiar, whether or not he admits or doing so. And let's just say we would not be here if we weren't willing to discuss the matter with his regarding actions he has taken under his previous employment. In other words, actions while taken under the Tal Shiar are probably already known to us, Captain.
I mean, I was more talking about whether or not him providing information might indeed be a sign that he's willing to cooperate, but also he's willing to ingratiate himself as a new citizen of the Federation, without either causing undue stress. What am I looking for here? I don't want to throw around the word traitor because that's far too loaded.
He has expressed his situation, and we are currently accepting that his desire is genuine.
Okay.
Nonetheless, there is a distinction between an accusation of a war crime and a confession. I think it is important to ensure that this is not seen as a confession that would be admissible in a court.
We have gone through our records, and the only possible instance of a potential war crime was what was happened and you saw. However, if what the commander has said regarding his goal and the planning, which does have to admit makes better sense than trying to attack a planet already defended, then there is little concern for us that he is indeed a war crime as what initially was assumed. Basically, we no longer believe that he has committed any war crimes. And our knowledge of his past activities indicate that there hasn't been any suggestion that other war crimes might have been committed.
Good.
So all this is going on while you haven't given the pad to Commander Pelus yet. May I have that pad, Safan?
By all means.
And so Pelus starts recording down this pardon me, the Starfleet Intelligence agents, so it was like muffling and talking to each other. I will allow you a insight security check to see if you can try and work out what they're saying.
Observation focus, or
it's not observation. They are obscuring their mouths, so you can't lip read. It's definitely more if you can hear.
how about espionage? In the fact that Vulcans have really good hearing.
I'm gonna allow.
I'm gonna give it a shot just to see.
Okay, what's the difficulty again? You kind of cut out there.
Difficulty was 2.
Okay,
2.
I'm going to give you a threat for an extra die.
I'm just gonna roll normal.
Let's see here. 4 successes.
I can't see. I can't hear or see shit today.
All right, so Safan, as you listen, they're talking about talking to each other if there was any other particular concerns, and they seem to be satisfied that between the captain, between you and what they've heard from Pelus, that they don't have any particular objections to Pelus.
Nice.
The only thing they want is seeing if they can get if there is any intelligence they want to gain further at this moment, or if there is a longer just a full kind of debrief if they can.
Whether they want to fish or cut bait.
Yeah. So it's more about how they want to try and get the next lot of information from now. So
Gotcha.
So they finish up, and Pelus is still writing. It takes a few minutes for him to complete what he's got. Once he's finished, he goes over it, and there's a bit of a personal profile on the senator. upon some notes about various meetings that he believed was with the Dominion, and in general, not like more like in his own words, repeating of like memos that he has seen and read, not word for word, but
Nice.
the general
Synopses.
gist, the synopsis of what happened. So that's what he puts down and he hands over to the agent.
Actually, as he's getting ready to hand it over, I'm just going to kind of put my hand out, kind of casually, just so that he can pass it to the agents by way of me, and I can take a quick glance at it as he passes it along,
Okay.
or as I pass it along.
All right. So just give me a reason security, just try and get the information down
Okay.
as quickly. It'll be, let's say, difficulty 1.
Okay. Observation focus.
Observation focus.
Oh, rolled one
roll
die.
another one.
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go.
Oh.
A 17 and another 17.
Ouch.
That's all right. Just trying to play it off as just trying to be helpful, and that's all it was.
So yeah, you take a look at it, but for some reason you're a bit distracted by the situation, and you don't really hold any of the information.
I was too busy listening to their conversation, listening to the security or the intel conversation.
And you pass it over, and they look to it, to taking a moment, obviously, to go through it themselves, and to they seem to grab another pad and just go over it to confirm, see if anything they have on them actually is able to confirm or counter what is being said here. And let me do a check for them, see if they can confirm for themselves whether or not this is fully accurate. Oops.
Oof.
So the first one was wrong because it was 2d29. But
It's a 29-sided die. That's my favorite.
yes, they're very commonly used 29s to say it's hard to dice. It's used for everything. They don't seem to find particularly any information that seems to corroborate or counter the information, but they go, thank you, the Cajun goes, thank you, Commander, for your assistance. We will take a look at this and confirm with our records shortly.
You plan on sharing what you learned with the rest of the class there?
It is basically, if you want a copy, Captain, then we will send that to you. Obviously, though, it's basically essentially what the content that the former commander had previously described it in higher detail.
I'd appreciate a copy, yeah.
Very well, we can arrange that. Fuel exclusives, Captain. I think we have enough for now. We would like to return to our officers, confirm some details, and then we will be back, perhaps discussing what happens next.
Very well.
Commander Pelus, the Tellarite adds. Good on you, he adds. Then they just the occasion sort of like raising an eyebrow or just shakes their head before they. If you will give sleep, Captain, the Cajun said, as the Tellarite's already sort of starting to walk out the door.
You're all right, mate.
And
Well, once they all leave, I assume I go like, ah, that could have been worse.
They actually seemed pleased with the level of information they obtained from the debriefing.
It sounds like they got something new from it.
Indeed.
I wonder if they'll tell us what. How are you feeling, Pelus?
well, I have to admit, knowing that that part is over is a relief.
Well, I can't exactly say I'm not to try to question you again, but I mean, at this
They
point, it sounds like the hard part's over.
they seem to have been to be convinced that my intentions are true, and that is all I hope for out of this engagement.
Yeah. If you'd like, I could have someone walk you back down to your quarters if you know, unless you have any other questions for me or Safan here.
Perhaps Stefano will ask you about Taput, was it?
Yes, Takut.
Takut.
I can, Captain, if you will allow me to escort Pelus back to his quarters, I can provide information en route.
Sure.
All right, so we're gonna just skip over that a bit.
Yes.
As they both leave, I go, Telfy, really? Fuck.
You're welcome.
All right, so let's jump back to the bridge. Chara receives the ship receives a message from the USS Amazon, marked urgent for the captain.
Is it, go ahead.
Charo will tap his comm badge and signal the captain.
Charo, I'm right here.
Well, I thought you guys were still in the conference room.
This is, let's say, at least 20 minutes later. This is after the conference has ended.
No, I just like any of me poking my head up over. I'm right here, Charo.
Sorry, Captain. Incoming message from the USS Amazon.
Priority?
Priority for you, sir.
All right, I'll take it in my quarters, or take it in my ready room.
Hi, Captain.
And I'm gonna head on over there.
Message.
Okay, so you turn to your ready room and see the communication there. It's ready. You tap on the screen, and it's not the captain of the Amazon as you expected. It's just a black screen. As words just appear one by one on the screen and disappear sort of a few seconds afterwards. Captain, we are aware of the Keegan. He is being taken care of. And that's all it says.
Let me see if I can run a trace. Did that message actually come from the Amazon?
You can try.
Yeah, I'd like to try.
Okay, it'll be a difficulty 3.
Okay.
Let's say reason engineering. Reason engineering with communications security.
I don't have any of those. All right.
So communication security from the Valkyrie, reason engineering from you.
Something I could talk into reason science. Because it is computer focused.
Oh, okay, I will allow science.
Alrighty, I'm going to give you a threat for bold. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, no, I don't have any applicable foci. I'm just social focused. Alrighty, let's do this. Don't fuck me, Gil. Difficulty 3, right?
Yes, someone can
All
do
right.
the Valkyrie communications.
And I did give you a die for bold, so
Yes. Someone still needs to roll for the ship, though.
somebody please roll well for the ship.
What's the ship rolling?
Communications security. Okay, that's... Don't know why it says null system, but it's...
I mean, it says 9,
It
but
says
did
9.
you double click on it?
It's a
that's
13.
3.
It's a roll 13, so... let's just double check the Valkyrie's comms.
Their comms are the communication is a 9.
Okay, so that is just a success.
Whew.
So you get as far as Deep Space Nine, and then the trail goes cold. But you do know that they're in that section of space. It's
Good. That's the current deployment of the USS Amazon, right?
That's the current deployment in that section of space. Yes.
Huh. All right, I'm not going to say anything right now, and obviously I assume there's no trace of the message itself. Like, I'm assuming it's one of those self-deleting messages. As soon as I saw it, it destroyed itself.
Yeah. I will actually spend some threat to make that happen.
Fair enough.
There we go.
I'm just gonna sigh and just punch the bridge of my nose. I am so fucking tired of this cloak and dagger shit. All right. Press myself. Do the tunic tug and head back out on the bridge.
I'm gonna make Iris do a insight command check.
Sure. I'm not gonna oppose.
Okay, that is
Oh.
definitely a success. Let me see if she has a focus, because that may.
Did our GM just make us momentum?
NPC, don't NPCs always generate threat?
No, Iris.
Oh, that was Iris. My bad.
Yeah, that's Iris.
I can't seem to find Iris's character sheet.
Oh no!
Oh shit.
Okay,
Did you delete it accidentally?
No, it's there. I found it. I just can't access the.
Yeah, it's under supporting characters.
Yeah.
Oh no! Put her back on the main cast.
Unfortunately, she doesn't have
Okay.
doesn't have a applicable foci, but you do. What's it? Presence 7, 11. Yeah, that's enough for a momentum.
Yay!
Nice.
Captain, is everything all right?
Oh yeah, it was just David checking in. You know.
She just sort of eyebrows raised, and she stares at you a bit longer. Like she holds the gaze for a bit. You get the sense that she knows something else went down, but she's sort of half prompting you for information, half going, well, what are you going to do?
Well, first off, I think we need to know what's next in store for us from Starfleet Command. And whether or not if Pelus has made any decision on where he would like to go next. I'm assuming it's only been like a couple hours.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not too worried about that second one.
Well, Captain, if you do remember, we are now part of the task force, which means we have a bit of free range as to where we go. So,
True.
um,
Did we ever take up our SAR officers, our exchange officers?
they are still on their way. It apparently takes some time for them to come from the Shackleton Expanse.
That's true. Actually, did we ever get information on who else we're assigned to this task force with?
You have a number of ships. They're all, you don't really know many of them. You haven't really encountered many of them before. If you want to do a let's say a reason command.
Yeah, let's find out if the GM has created any NPCs.
Oh dear.
All right.
I thought we were done with the meta threat.
Alrighty.
Alright, so this will be a difficulty 3.
I'm gonna use momentum.
And computers command for the Valkyrie.
This is a command role. Let's see. Command presence. Damn it! If I had Starfleet operations, I'd probably know this. Jesus Christ!
How many complications was that?
2.
Ouch.
To be fair, I've been rather busy.
Yeah, you have absolutely no idea who's on the other end of the task force. You look. Someone do the ship just in case.
And then
Kind of
your personal
embarrassing.
terminal explodes.
There's no point. There were no successes there.
No successes.
And what did I just say?
Okay, I'm not going to count that. I just wanted to do it to see if
Oh my god!
So
Thank
all
you.
the consoles on the ship explode.
Iris, help the guy out.
No, there is a mega virus, and now the TED meme is plastered all over the
What is this? What is this thing? Mega protocol?
You're
And then it gets
It's
replaced
the
with
TED
the
Mega
ad from Quark.
Protocol.
And then it gets replaced with the ad from Quark. Up to Quark. This is fun.
So this is actually what happens after you're in your meeting and you're trying to track your brain's gone a bit dead at the moment trying to do that stuff that you're not really it's a bit too much out of your comfort zone trying to track down communication stuff but you just can't seem to find anything about anyone on the task force. You just like either forgetting its name or it's just whatever's happening. You just can't find the right word or search phrase or anything to come up, and you're just feeling a bit over it at this point. As for the other 2 threat, I'm going to pick up 2 threat instead of using the second complication.
Yeah, the captain is drained.
So,
but no standing orders from Starfleet. Nothing to investigate.
What do you wanna? What are you gonna look into, Captain? Well, what do you think your plans are going to be for the future once whatever's happening with Pelus gets sorted?
Well, I would like to ferry him off to his new home by ourselves, just because I'm not entirely sure I want to have anyone from Starfleet Intelligence do it. We do need to pick up our officers from SOAR. Maybe we can meet them halfway. At least that way they'll get here faster. Although, maybe they have to be on Earth. I am so drained right now.
All right. So as you're going about that, finally you get another. There's another message for the captain coming in. It is once again it is the Starfleet Intelligence officers. Agents.
Captain, they're calling again.
On screen.
Hi, Captain.
You see Sish and the location on the Tellarite once again. Sish and Sahara, as I like to say. I don't know if that's actually how it's said. I have to rely on Brian there for a bit. But
Close enough for
That would probably be how it would be, yeah.
Close enough for government work.
And so they're there. We have filed our report with the relevant authorities, and we have expressed in our report our approval of approval is of Commander's Palace's
endorsement.
Endorsement, yes, thank you, of the Commander's application for asylum. You should hear momentarily in regard to the final decision, but we just wanted to express that. Have you talked to the Commander about where he might want to be resettled?
Not since the meeting, no. I wanted to give him time to discuss the matter with his family.
Very well. Once we hear when we can make arrangements to create appropriate documentation for him and his family.
That would be much appreciated.
Starfleet Intelligence out.
Valkyrie out. Well, I think this story might actually have a happy ending. Remember when he was trying to kill us? It has been a crazy couple of half a year. Yeah.
Well, I suppose that is Starfleet Captain. Iris pipes up.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm actually going to relay the information to Pelus, and let him know that we expected a formal answer shortly. It's probably going to look in the positive.
So Pelus is thankful. He says, we have discussed the situation and considering all our options, we believe that even though it may be awkward, that home in Delphi would be our best course of action. Apologies if this causes you any complications regarding, your family.
No, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. I will
I'm just saying,
endeavor
Ted.
to do my best.
Is anyone else imagining Ted with like the lightest eyes possible right now?
Oh, his teeth are
Yeah.
super clenched. He's talking through like his shark teeth. I will make the appropriate arrangements.
Pelus's last stab.
Basically.
From hell's politics, I stab at thee.
All right. Well,
You win this one, Commander.
I'm glad you got the last word, Pelus. Bridge out. That asshole.
So after a bit of time, the official approval does come through, and you communicate his resettlement desire, and
I know exactly what I have to do now. That's just size. Hang on. I need to see where our supporting characters for a minute. Charo?
Yes, Captain.
Give me a line to the Definian Office of Diplomatic Affairs.
Aye, Captain.
I'll take it in my ready room.
Of course, Captain.
Y'all may not want to hear this.
I'm just imagining now, as soon as the door closes, all of the bridge crew who don't have anything important to do immediately put their ears against the door.
Except for Mazaka and Stefan, who can hear through the door anyway, and just haven't told the captain yet.
Or Chara, who can just listen all he wants.
all right.
But yeah, Ted is best. He is going to call the office you call him on attempting for trying to sponsor someone for refugee status. Because they may be members of the Federation, they are still a sovereign nation.
Okay. Pardon me once again. The call goes actually rather smoothly once they figure out who, that it's you.
Don't say the full name. Don't say the full name.
They say the full name.
They get you through the line.
They're wearing a
That's
Tedesco
true.
t-shirt.
So they of course this will have to go to the Queen, but we do not see any issues.
The Queen?
Well, through the appropriate measures in her name, of course.
It's a refugee status. Why couldn't it go to the First Minister?
Who acts in the Queen's name?
Ugh.
Oh, no, see, he's just shitting you at this point.
She's a figurehead. We both know it. Fine. Whatever it takes.
So they finish up making the arrangements that are needed. You get it doesn't take long, but approval is granted.
Is there a stipulation that the Pelus must be transferred personally by the Valkyrie?
There isn't actually that stipulation, but they do mention that they look forward to their formal response regarding the invitation to visit Delphi, and mention that this would be a great opportunity to meet those requirements.
As soon as the call's done, you just hear the thump of a desk. That sounds like a head hitting the top of Ted's desk.
Kill me from the He's gonna kill you.
In as formal language as he can manage at this point in time, Ted will make a brief note that he has decided to accept the invitation to Delphi with the USS Valkyrie in his capacity as a Starfleet officer.
The acceptance of the invitation is welcomed, and noted that
it is disturbingly fast, apparently.
Yes. and is welcome, and that please let us know of your expected arrival, and arrangements will be made for events that will be hosted.
Oh, not water dancing, please, not water dancing.
Do the snake.
Does this mean we have to wear the dress uniform?
With an incredibly just defeated sigh, Ted walks back out onto the bridge.
It could be worse. Ted could be forced to wear Delphinian formal wear.
Con, give me an ETA on an expected arrival if we set a course for Delphi.
Yeah, Alvarado's
And
there, so you...
What is the mood of the bridge as soon as I say that?
Intrigue.
Yeah, Iris is also curious. She won. She's curious about the situation.
Bazaka is delightfully bemused at the back of the bridge.
Charo's a bit
Alright.
serious.
Dr. Shar's like, what? What's happening?
She's still in sick bay.
Oh, it got down to sick bay already.
Got nothing
Oh
to
yeah,
do
I
with
assume.
Uh,
Yeah, no, I assume
Loren
somebody told
is-
Shar.
Loren is preparing all of his Ted meme finery to wear when he goes.
Monster. Alrighty, so what does Alvarado have to roll to make an ETA?
This will just be a reason con, difficulty 1.
Okay, reason con. I assume the ship is assisting.
Ship is assisting.
Alright, helm operations.
Yeah, helm operations will apply. It'll
Yay.
be
God
computers.
damn, Alvarado rolls fucking gangbusters.
Computers.
I think it's computers con, right?
Computers con. Yes, I'll do computers con.
If not, it sounds good.
Well, it doesn't matter because apparently Alvarado did it in his head.
Yeah, he so before even checking with the computer, Alvarado pipes up and say it'll be I think a week and a half.
Is there any way we could swing it that we can pick up our new SAR officers on the way? Or is it in a
It's
different direction?
sort of going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, it's like the exact opposite direction of the expanse.
Yeah, and how long is the ETA on them?
The ETA is still 2 weeks. I mean, it's only been about a week since that was approved, so it's still got 2-3 weeks.
They should arrive by the time we return, Captain.
Alright. Let's set a course. Set a course for Delphi.
Bazaka just walks over.
Captain Alvarado may not have hurt you.
Just a death glare. But yeah, no, that's the next destination, I guess.
Bazaka just walks over and goes, "Let me guess. Dinner tonight is going to be a chili relleno and a lot of tequila."
So much tequila. Inform Dr. Jor I may get liver poisoning tonight.
She already knows.
Fucking scuttlebutt.
I mentioned there's actually someone on the bridge who's got like a thumb on a comm panel, who's got like an open channel to the entire ship.
Oh, it's
absolutely.
Charo. He's doing it.
Oops, did I do that?
Oh, yes, you did.
Damn it, Lieutenant Urkel.
All right, so I guess that is a perfect opportunity for us to give it a rest for today. Thank you for joining us. I hope you've had as much fun as I have.